Hey everyone, and welcome back. You know what today is. It's Measure Your Feet Day.
Oh, okay.
And we are going to celebrate with a deep dive into the world of foot analysis.
Yeah.
We'll be looking at what your feet might reveal about your personality.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, it's like, could your toes hold the secrets to your destiny? We're going to find out. Our source material today is an article called Pasted Text from January 23rd, 2025. And it features insights from Dr. Nancy Sachs, who's like a leading expert in foot analysis.
Okay.
So are you ready to decode some feet and see what they say about it?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
All right. So Dr. Sachs, in this article, she lays out this whole system where like the length and shape of your toes can like reveal hidden aspects of your personality.
Okay.
And it's actually pretty interesting. For example, if you look at your feet and your second toe is longer than your big toe, kind of extends out past it.
Right.
That's supposed to mean that you are super dependable, maybe even a little bit conservative, and you might be drawn to fields like medicine or finance.
Interesting. So like very practical and grounded.
Yeah, exactly. But, flip that around, and if your third toe is the longest toe, then you're more likely to be that kind of unpredictable type.
Oh, the hot and cold personality.
Yeah. Like,
Wow.
who knows what they're going to do next?
Yeah.
So it's pretty wild stuff, right?
Yeah.
What do you make of all this?
Well, it's definitely an intriguing idea, but I'm curious about the scientific evidence behind these toe-based personality profiles.
Right.
Like, is there any real basis for these claims?
Well, she doesn't really get into the science of it
Yeah.
so much. But I did do a little digging myself, and it turns out this whole idea of connecting physical features to personality traits, it's not actually a new thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for centuries, people have been looking for clues about character and things like facial features and body types. Like even the ancient Greeks and Romans, they had this whole system called physiognomy, where they tried to, link certain physical attributes with personality traits.
That makes sense. It's like we're always searching for patterns and meaning, even in the way people look.
Right. And foot reading in particular has been practiced in all sorts of cultures throughout history. Some people even believe that the feet are kind of like a map of the entire body and its energies.
Wow.
So it's like this idea that everything is connected and your feet are like this little microcosm of you.
Fascinating. So even if there isn't a proven scientific basis for it, there's definitely this deep-seated human fascination with connecting the physical and the psychological.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess even though the science might be shaky, it does make you wonder, right? Like if maybe there's something to this idea that believing in these correlations could actually influence your behavior.
Yeah. Right. Like if you start to believe something about yourself, maybe you'll act in a way that makes it true.
Yeah, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
So imagine someone who's told that their long toes are like a sign of intelligence.
Right.
And maybe they start to actually believe that. And because they believe it, they start, to feel more confident in academic pursuits,
Yeah.
And then maybe they start to study harder, participate more in class, And then all of a sudden they're actually excelling in those areas.
Right.
So their success isn't necessarily because their toes are long, but because of this belief that those long toes mean that they're intelligent.
It's like the power of suggestion can actually shape our reality.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
It is really amazing. Our minds are so powerful.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go back to Dr. Sachs's article because she gets into all sorts of different foot types.
Okay.
Did you know that people with a really big baby toe are supposed to be natural sunshine spreaders?
Sunshine spreaders. What's a sunshine spreader?
Super positive and cheerful.
Yeah. Okay.
Always brightening everyone's day,
And then she talks about people with long toes in general. They're supposed to be more intellectually inclined. Yeah, they might be writers or philosophers or deep thinkers, that kind of thing.
Interesting.
And then on the other hand, there are those people with a really small pinky toe. And they tend to avoid confrontation.
Okay.
But, they have this kind of hidden strength.
I see.
They might be quiet, but they're also, very resilient and determined.
Right.
It's pretty fascinating. It's she's creating this whole cast of characters.
Yeah.
And their personalities are all defined by their feet.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun way to people watch.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, let's move beyond the toes for a second.
Okay.
Because Dr. Sachs also talks about foot width.
Foot width.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wide feet, she says, are usually found on people who are hardworking and family-oriented.
Right.
And then if you have narrow feet, that indicates maybe you're a little bit shy, but you're also like very balanced in your personality. And this was my favorite. She says that people with webbed toes are like the life of the party.
Oh.
Yeah, super extroverted and fun-loving. They're often drawn to careers in sales or entertainment, where they can like really interact with people.
Right.
It makes me think of a friend I have who she has these incredibly wide feet. And she's like the most hardworking person I know. She volunteers constantly. She's always baking for bake sales and organizing events. And she's so devoted to her family. I mean, it's almost eerie how accurately Dr. Sachs's description fits her.
Wow. That's pretty wild.
But, it does make me think, like, on a more serious note, can we really reduce people to these like broad categories based on their foot shape?
That's a great point.
Isn't personality, way more nuanced than that?
You're absolutely right. Personality is incredibly complex. It's a blend of genetics, upbringing, experiences, all these different factors. To say that foot shape alone can like dictate who we are is definitely an oversimplification.
Right.
But what's interesting here, though, is the power of confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias.
Yeah. It's like we tend to notice the things that confirm what we already believe, and we kind of ignore the things that contradict our beliefs.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, if you believe that wide feet means someone is hardworking, you might unconsciously focus on, like, all the hardworking people you know who have wide feet.
Right, right.
And you might not even, like, register the people who are kind of lazy, but also have wide feet.
Oh, I see. So it's like we selectively see what we want to see to kind of reinforce what we think is true.
Exactly. And that's why it's important to be, skeptical about these kinds of systems.
Yeah.
Like foot analysis, it can be fun and entertaining, but we shouldn't take it as gospel.
It's like a playful lens through which to view ourselves and others, but it's not the whole picture.
Exactly. It reminds us that, we're all unique, and there's so much more to a person than just what meets the eye or the foot, for that matter.
Yeah. Or the foot. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, this has been quite a journey. We've gone from, toe length and personality types to the history of foot reading. And these fascinating, like, psychological effects of belief systems. It seems like the main takeaway here is that while foot analysis might not be like a foolproof method for, assessing personality, it can definitely offer a lighthearted way to think about ourselves and the people around us, right?
Absolutely. It's a fun way to spark some self-reflection and appreciate the many different facets of human character.
Exactly. So what about you, listener? As you look down at your own feet, do any of these descriptions ring true? Or do you see yourself as kind of defying these categories? We'd love to hear your thoughts. And on that note, that's a wrap on our deep dive into the curious world of foot analysis. Remember, whether your toes are long or short, wide feet or narrow feet, the most important thing is to just appreciate the unique individual you are. Thanks for joining us.